viewers. Stumping Mudholes, finally. We've been wanting to do it since 2021.
It's been a while now, yeah.
And I think you've been seeing a lot of posts coming soon.
Yeah.
Are you excited and all that stuff? But I think even earlier this year, I wanted to do it in January, February, but then the timing of all these things were not like it wasn't helping me out.
Yeah.
So
COVID came.
Yeah. We were restricted with having guests, meeting in person and all that stuff. So now I'm happy we are doing it. I'm happy we are doing it in 2023 when a lot of stuff with Cricket Canada has been nothing but phenomenal. Like we got our ODI status, the team qualified for the T20 World Cup next year.
Very big news.
And now emerging cricketer, emerging star of Canadian cricketer, youngster, under 19 captain for 2022.
Yes.
Mihir Patel is with us. Mihir, do you want to do an introduction to your viewers?
Yeah, I guess just hey everyone, my name is Mihir Patel. I know this will probably be watched by most of the cricket community, but for those who don't know me, I've been playing cricket since as long as I can remember. And I've known Jimmy for I think a good 4 or 5 years now, and he's been a great support, and I'm more than happy to be here. Looking forward to the episode.
Yeah, and I want to also give it a plug to Wild Wings. Wild Wings, it's at Core Meadows and Countryside. We were also looking for a spot, like a studio spot, but then I was like, oh, let's have a podcast like where two buddies are having a drink or meal, and then we can talk about everything related to cricket and everything around cricket.
Beyond cricket as well, yeah.
Mihir, I want to talk to you about how you started your cricket journey in Canada and what made you pick up the bat.
So if you want a detailed answer, when I was very, very young, my dad used to play a lot, and then I have an older brother as well. He used to tag along with my father, and my dad used to have softball games at that time every Sundays. So it used to be like a family thing where all of our families would go and kind of watch and play. And then from there, I think it started. Thank you so much. I think from there it started, where it was just like my dad will be playing on the field, and I think outside the boundary I'll be playing with the other father's kids. So I think from there it kind of started, and then I had an older cousin who was training at the Toronto Cricket Academy at that time with Coach Brian Hill. I mean, he's no more now, but I mean, so that's where I started my cricket when I was, I think, 8 years old. And then, ever since then I've been doing some formal training, and then it just kind of became a passion. It became something I really wanted to do, and I just pursued it.
We'll carry on our conversation from where you started, and I know you played most of your cricket so far with Centurions, and then you switched to JB Masters, right? So talking about Centurions, as I said.
Yes.
You played for Centurions for like how many years? Since you were in
Since I was 12 until I was 20, so about 8 years. Yeah.
So you played for Centurions, and then I think earlier this year you switched to JB Masters.
Yeah, I went to JB Masters this year. Yeah.
So how was the conversation like with? I think Mohan Anna is the in charge of.
Yes, Mohan Uncle. I spoke to Uncle Mohan. Yeah.
So how was Uncle Mohan's reaction when you told him?
I think he was a little surprised, just because. To be very honest, I had everything going for me there. I had everything set, and honestly, you would know, like Centurions being one of the strongest clubs, probably not only in Ontario, probably the whole country. I had a lot of respect from almost everyone there, and I was really proud of what I've achieved in that club. But I think it got to a point where I was very, I wouldn't say, like I was very comfortable, and I think at times when you're very, very comfortable, you don't really grow. I think when you move out of your comfort zone, that's when you understand that, that's when you'll be able to grow. So I did make the move of clubs, JB Masters being an equally strong club. So I think it was a good move. I didn't have the greatest seasons of my first season.
You were injured this year.
Yeah, so like my first half, I think it was like 6 or 7 games this year with JB Masters. I didn't get a full season in because I had a knee injury. But I mean, there was no bad blood when I left. There was no like if I were to call Mohan Uncle up today and ask him for something, he'd be more than happy to help. So it's that kind of relationship that we left off on, which is good.
And I've seen with Centurions and I think one of the other Super 9 clubs, if we are talking about JB Masters now, right? I think the best part about these clubs is they are very emotionally invested in their players, right? And I know a club that is the same.
Yes.
And and we'll talk about that later. But it's good when your club owners, when the people in charge, they care about their players.
Right.
And they care about their players to an extent when even if there is something better or some other options available for the players,
Yeah.
they won't hold you and they won't block you for doing things, right?
Yes, exactly.
So I think
I know what you mean, yeah.
hats off to Uncle Mohan if he did that, right?
No, I mean, he never said no to anything, and even when I did tell him, like, I've decided to make the move, and he was more like, he was very supportive. He's like, you're more than welcome to be back whenever you like. I mean, this is your family, this is where you grew up playing your cricket, so like, you're more than welcome back anytime. And even when I saw him at King City, like during the summer, he was very, very supportive.
That's
always cracked a joke, just how he is. So it was good to have him around. I'm really grateful for his support.
So JV Masters now.
Yeah.
Rizwan Mohammed.
Yeah,
he was
yes.
also in charge of one of the franchises in GT20.
Yes.
And you were also part of Mississauga Panthers.
Yes.
I think they had their debut season, if I'm not wrong. Right?
Yes, it was their first year. It was new team.
So I think 2018 first GT20, 2019 second GT20.
Yes.
And then we had a break due to COVID and all
Year
other
break,
reasons.
yes.
And how was your experience with Mississauga Panthers?
It was good. Honestly, it was my first time in a league like this, so I didn't really know what to expect. Just kind of heard from other players how it is, but to experience the first time was really cool. It was nice to rub shoulders with the big players. Like I had Chris Gill on my team, Shoaib Malik, Jimmy Neesham, I had Azam Khan, Usman Qadir. So a lot of big players. But yeah, it was really cool. Like just to kind of, you grew up watching them on TV. Maybe, you never really thought that, maybe you'd see them, but you never really thought you would share a dressing room with them.
Yeah.
But they were amazing people. Really cool to have, even learn some cricket, but even have a drink with. Very, very cool.
So if I'm not wrong, like you could not play all the matches in
Yes.
GT20, right? So what was the mindset between, and not even just your mindset, I want to know what was the conversation between you and the coaching staff and the management, that why are you not playing? Was there any communication? What kind of a conversation was that?
I think, to be very honest with you, I think like when the tournament started, we had a very strong Canadian core. I think, in my opinion, we had the strongest Canadian core out of all the franchises. And I think the rule was 3 Canadians play in the starting 11. So I didn't go in with a negative mindset. I just knew that being the youngster and not the most experienced in the team, that I would probably have to wait my turn. So I wasn't shocked when I didn't start in the 11. But I was working hard at practices. Coach saw that I had a little bit of talent that that could be worked on, especially down the line.
Yeah.
So you just keep working hard, wait for your opportunities. The tournament didn't go our way, obviously. So I think we were one of the first teams to be eliminated.
Yeah.
So that kind of opened the doors. I was supposed to play the last 2 games, but the second last game against Brampton Wolves, I think, it got rained out. So then I ended up playing our last game against Surrey.
Okay.
So yeah, instead of playing 2, I just played 1. But I mean, it was still nice to be on the park. I mean, that's what we're
and
here for.
it's a good exposure for the young Canadians,
Yes.
and not even young Canadians, for all the Canadians. I think we need something like GT20, if not anything better.
Of course.
But if you see all the leagues around the world, PSL in Pakistan, IPL, that's the biggest one, right?
Yeah.
I think IPL sold their rights more than NFL now. So
Yes.
So cricket, I think cricket is second to soccer now.
Yes.
And if you're talking about NFL, NHL, and all these sports, yes, they're popular in North America, but I feel cricket is growing in North America now. With Major League coming in.
Yes.
With franchise cricket like GT20 now.
Yeah. And all the franchises, especially in the States, all the franchises are the same owners.
Yeah.
Where they owned by Indians, you have the Capitals and things like that. So.
And also, I know, Mihir, because you've been part of the Canadian system, the youth system, since a while now. I think you played 2 under-19 World Cups from Canada?
Yeah, so I played 2.
So the first one was in South Africa, second one was in St. Kitts.
Yeah, the Caribbean. So we're in St. Kitts and then we were in Trinidad.
And St. Kitts, you were named captain, right?
Yeah, the second one I was captain. Yeah.
So just talk about 2018 and how was it different to St. Kitts? Like how was South Africa tour and St. Kitts tour different?
So the 2 World Cups you mean?
Yeah, 2 World Cups.
So actually for the 2020 World Cup, the one in South Africa, to be very honest, I didn't think I was going to get picked because the qualifiers before that, like the one in 2019, I wasn't picked in that squad.
Yeah.
So there was a squad of 14 that was picked and I wasn't in that team. Matthew Nandu pulled out because he was playing in the West Indies.
Yeah.
So then I got a call in as a replacement batsman.
Okay.
So the tournament happened, we won, I think it was 4 or 5 games, but I didn't play any.
Okay.
So again, kind of was in the team but didn't play, so I wasn't expecting to get picked again.
Okay.
But I think after the qualifiers, I think that was in August, so I think from mid-August to the end of September, beginning of October, I had a really good patch.
Okay.
Like I was getting runs, big runs at the senior level. So I think that pushed my case for selections. I was picked in the practice squad, the squad of 20 in the winters. I was doing well there. And I was fit. I was doing everything that I needed to do, like good.
Yep.
And then I did finally get picked. When the squad was announced, I did see my name. So obviously it was a very a proud moment for my family and I. But again, I was the youngest in the team. It was kind of like GT20. I didn't know if I was going to start.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was going to get any game time, but I was more than happy to be there.
And I think what was your top score in that 2020?
It was 90 against. It was my first game.
90, right?
Yeah. So what happened was that I wasn't supposed to play. So we had 2 warm-up games against, if I'm not wrong, it was West Indies and Australia. Both games, I didn't open the batting, and that's why I was picking the team. I was playing as an opening batsman.
Yeah.
I batted middle order. But our actual opener, Ishan Sharma, he got injured before the first game.
Okay.
I think he did his ankle or something like that.
Okay.
So he couldn't run. So then that made me the automatic pick to open with Ravi Sandhu.
Oh, okay.
So me and Ravi became good buddies that time.
Oh, okay.
So me and Ravi opened the batting, and we actually had a really good partnership. I think we were 85 for no loss in the first 10 overs. He got out shortly after, but then I carried through. I got a 90.
Okay.
But it was good. It was a really good feeling. I was the youngest in the team, and then I think I ended up with the most runs for Canada. So it was good.
No, even we have that talent. Even you mentioned Ravi now, right?
Yeah.
And I know you're close to your buddies Mihir Patel and Sharma. We have a young brigade. Then maybe next 3 years or 5 years we'll see some names in the Canadian team. The system is developing. As I said, earlier this year, things have been happening all in the good direction. Coach Pugdu has been working very hard, and even the board. I'll shout out to the board now, right?
Yeah.
Because they have always been doing a phenomenal job backing their players. How do you see, what kind of a structure are you looking in the next few years for Canadian cricket? Because we're going to get very busy now. I know we are doing high performance camps, we're doing Central T20s, National T20s and all that stuff. But now that we have ODI status, we have the bilaterals coming up, triangular series coming up.
A lot of series is coming up.
Lots of, it's going to be a busy time for Canadian
Traveling
cricket, right?
and all that stuff. Yeah.
So how do you see yourself getting in the system? I know scoring more runs and all that is good.
Yeah.
High performance camps is one other thing.
Yeah.
But how do you see the youth cricket, the junior crickets, when I'm only talking about under 19 cricket, getting transition to the senior team? Because if we talk about other nations like Australia, India, even Pakistan, they have a juniors program. They send out their A teams, B teams, under 19 teams to travel around the world. What do you think should be done for Canadian cricketers that they should get into the senior team? What do you think about that?
To be honest with you, I think there should, in my honest opinion, I think that not enough under 19 cricketers are playing at the highest level.
Yeah.
So I think it's getting less and less every year. As much as I noticed, when I was growing up, there used to be almost everyone that makes the under 19 Canadian team are performing. That time, elite was the highest level.
Yeah.
They were performing really well in elite. But now, if you look at it,
you mean elite in TND?
In TND, yes.
Yeah.
I played most of my cricket in TND.
Okay.
Not to defame any other leagues, but just because what I've played.
Yeah.
I played mostly TND cricket.
Yeah.
I think it's very important for the youngsters to be tested when they're in practice, but when they're not fully ready. I think it's important to be tested that time, so you know what to practice.
Yeah.
And I feel like not enough youngsters are playing Super 9 cricket, in my honest opinion.
Yeah.
And even playing is one thing, but I think performing and dominating is another thing. And I think that's going down, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, and adding to what you're saying, I think Super 9 cricket overall, if you ask me seriously, I see a lot of youngsters playing either, again, not to defame any other league.
Yes.
They're playing closer to their homes in Brampton, Mississauga.
Yeah.
Super 9 is mostly, I think they have that leverage that whoever is in Super 9, I think only one team gets demoted, right? Mm-hmm. So I think if we are talking about OCA now, right? OCA had that junior setup, they had young players and stuff, right? But I feel I don't know, if TND should step in or Cricket Canada, there should be an age gap for players playing in Super 9. If, again,
Putting
like,
the age gap.
sorry, not age gap, like I mean age cap.
Oh, yes.
You know, like there should be an age cap for players playing in Super 9. Again, nothing against anybody. It's just like how the cricket is evolving.
Yeah.
You know,
to make it more competitive, you mean?
more competitive, and you know, it's 50 overs first of all. Chances are that a senior player, like who is kindly, like I don't know the age cap, like what it should be, like that's totally up to the experts
For
to decide, right?
discussions, yes, exactly.
But I feel most of the players get injured,
Yeah.
and it's 50 overs,
Long time.
long term, and there are more youngsters playing T20 cricket.
Yeah.
But if we are transitioning to ODI now, right?
Yeah.
Like, and ODI will be there. Like, I don't know after the World Cup what kind of a discussion with ICC will happen. Like, what is the future for ODI cricket? But Canada just got the ODI status.
Yeah,
right?
so
like,
we're in the cycle for the next 3-4 years anyway.
Yeah, we are in the cycle for 4 years until 2027, I believe, right?
Yeah, and that's when the
So I
Olympics
feel with TND and Super 9, they should talk about something like with club owners, and the system should be like there should be an age cap for certain players. Like,
Or
again,
there should be like a minimum rule, like minimum 2 under 23 players, something like that.
yeah, something like that.
To kind of
like we are like we want the experience of those players.
of course, yes, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Right, like we don't want to block those players. By no means necessary. Like I am not against anybody. Again, this is just a platform. We are just having a casual
Yeah, I
conversation.
mean, it's up for discussion all the
Right.
time. Yeah.
So I think those kind of the things nobody's talking about. And now that the Canadian cricket is going in a positive direction, I think these are the things that should be discussed.
Yeah.
And I feel there could be some changes down the road, right? And apart from that, I feel Super 9 is amazing, right?
Yeah,
like
very,
everybody
very
wants to,
competitive. Yeah.
everybody wants to play Super 9.
Yeah.
And I mean, Mississauga Dolphins had their good run in Super 9. There are other team like West Indies have been there since a while.
Yorkshire has
now.
been there for so long now.
I think Yorkshire is gone
Demoted now.
Yeah,
But I'm saying they had a really good legacy. Like, they're one of the oldest clubs in the club.
Navi
in the league, sorry.
used to play for Yorkshire for the
Navi
longest
was
of time.
the stalwart of Yorkshire.
Right?
Yeah.
So guys like Navi, and if they want to play Super 9, they'll get the team easily, right?
No issues. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, like before the season, I think February, March, if I'm not wrong, you guys went to India also, right? May.
Sorry, the month of May.
So you went to India for training. So that was not before the Canadian season. That was before GT20.
Before G20, yeah. So I think the Canadian season has just started, but
Yeah.
in May it's usually like the T20, just the T20s and stuff. So our goal was to be back by Super 9.
To get ready for Super 9,
Basically,
right?
yes.
So how was your experience in India, and where did you exactly go in India?
So Sheila and I, we went to Hyderabad.
Okay.
It was an academy called Coaching Beyond.
Okay.
So it's really one of the best facilities in India, and they have 3 franchise. Oh, they have 2 right now. They're opening a 3rd one in Mumbai.
Okay.
So we're in the Hyderabad one. There's one in Tamil Nadu,
Okay.
and then there's one that they're going to open up in Mumbai soon. So we went to the one in Hyderabad, which was run by Sridhar sir,
Okay.
who's been the Indian fielding coach for about, I think, 7-8 years now.
Okay.
So it was a great experience. I mean, lots of fun.
Okay.
Got to learn a lot.
Was like you said you went to Hyderabad, right?
Yeah.
What language do they guys speak? Telangana, if I'm not wrong?
Yeah, they speak Telanganese, I think.
Telugu,
Telugu, I think.
right?
Honestly, I don't know.
No disrespect to anybody from
Yeah.
Hyderabad who's
I'm sorry. They call it different things there. They call it
right?
like, yeah.
So
Telugu,
how
they
was
speak
the
Telugu.
communication? Like, were they easy to chat in English, or you guys were trying to talk in Hindi? Like, how did it go?
I think, well, at the academy at least, they're all like very, very educated in English.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that made our lives very easy.
Okay.
I think trying to get the attention of rickshaws or like some shop owners, a little
because
bit of Hindi.
I mean, like, why I'm asking this is, again, nothing against anybody in India. I'm from India. I'm a Punjabi, right?
Yeah.
English is not my first language.
Yeah.
Like Punjabi is, right?
Yeah.
That's my mother tongue.
Yeah.
But again, I wanted to know, like, there will be a time when Canadian players, especially Canadian players who are born and brought up here, like yourself and Mihir Patel, who will plan to go to other countries, whether it is Australia, India, Pakistan.
Yeah.
So I just want to know how, as simple as like, how do they communicate when they go there? right? So that's why that was my whole intention about it, right? And
fair question, very fair question.
right, and so adding to that, I saw some of your stories and photos that you went to some IPL matches.
Yeah, we did.
IPL was going on around that time.
Yes, yeah.
How was that experience? And what was the? I think, how, like I know you've been you watched GT20 and you watched IPL on TV, but how was the experience when you were in the audience?
It was really good. It was like second to none. So we went to 3 games. We went to the KKR SRH game. It was kind of like a boring game. It was like a 150 play 155.
Yeah.
It was okay game. Like it was a good game, but it was fine. Like nothing crazy.
Okay.
And then we went to the RCB. And SRH game. So when RCB came to Hyderabad to play.
Okay.
And the funny story about that was we couldn't get tickets because it was Kohli's first time playing in Hyderabad after 2 or 3 years, I think. Because the IPL was in Dubai, then they kept it only in Maharashtra. So it was not going anywhere in India except for a small portion of that country. So he finally was in Hyderabad, so obviously everyone's dying to see him.
Yeah.
So since the day we landed, we were trying to get tickets for the game, and we couldn't get it. And we just gave up. We're like, whatever, we'll just watch out from our hotel rooms. But actually, John Manoj, the director of our academy, Coaching Beyond, he was a former HCA president, the Hyderabad Cricket Association president. So he was very kind enough to just make a quick phone call, and he's able to get us 2 tickets.
See, that's India for you.
That's India for you. Like when I tell you we've tried everything. Like Sridhar sir tried, everybody tried. He asked the players that are currently playing, and they've already given the tickets away. Like we've tried everything, and nothing worked. So we gave up.
Yeah.
But John sir made 1 call, and within 5 minutes we had 2 like very decent tickets. And then we went there. We were very lucky to watch a high-scoring game. SRH batted first. Heinrich Klaassen got a good 100, and then the second innings, Kohli got 100.
Wow.
So that's just the cherry on top. It was a lot of fun.
That's good.
A lot of fun. And then we actually had. So I think RCB was chasing. They were chasing, and Kohli didn't finish not out, which is surprising. But as soon as Kohli got out, we left because if we leave after the game finishes, we won't get home for another 2 or 3 hours. So it's very crowded.
Cricket in India is like a religion, man. Like everybody says that, but like you have to go there to experience that.
It's easy to say, but once you experience it yourself. And then we watched the finals, the IPL finals.
So Jaddu scored the last
10 of 2.
10 of 2, right?
Yeah, so that
so
was
that
crazy.
also.
So another funny story with that. So we were in Hyderabad, and we were only planning on going for 1 day just to watch the finals and come back.
Yeah.
So if you remember correctly, the first day rained out.
Okay, yes.
So we went to the ground. We metro there. It's super difficult to metro. It's packed with right? Very, very difficult. And 110,000 people at the stadium. Very, very difficult to get in. We got in, and it started raining. And the whole day it rained, and we all got soaked because we were very close to the bottom, so we didn't have any shade. We had good seats, but it sucked because we didn't have any shelter over there. So we were like soaked. It was a really bad experience. We went back in the metro. Shield lost his slipper in the process.
Oh man.
He went home barefoot. We were lucky enough that Shield's grandparents had a place in Ahmedabad where the game was. So we were there for a couple of days, and then we went the next day for the finals, and it rained again that day.
Okay.
So we're like, if it rains today, then we're done. The finals is called off. And I'm trying to get a hold of the airline people to like book our tickets again, and there's no service in the stadium, and it was a complete disaster. But I mean, it was all worth it because the game was so good.
Yeah, it's a final. It's an IPL final,
right? IPL final, 110,000 people. I'm a big Dhoni fan, so I thought it was Dhoni's last game.
Everybody thought that.
I thought it was Dhoni's last game. I mean, I'm really happy he's playing.
I think he's going to come for one more season.
I think he'll come for one more season. But it was amazing. But yeah, it's extremely packed. Like there's literally no, like after a certain point when you look, you just don't see anything but people. There's only people, and like anywhere you look, there's just people.
Yeah, man. Like Indian cricket, again, they say it's a religion, right? But you have to go there to experience it.
You have to.
So but talking about experiences, how was your experience with the Black and Gold Club? I know, like we've been talking since, as you mentioned, 3-4 years now, maybe more than that. But you played one match for Patiala Shahi Cricket, and unfortunately, I could not come and watch you, and I could not come there and support you. Usually, whoever joins the club, like I'm always there to see their debut and stuff. Right? But man, 100 on a debut, T20, T&D. How how was that? Like, how did you feel? Especially, how did you feel representing Patiala Shahi?
I mean, it's an honor. I mean, I've known you for such a long time, and we were in talks of trying to make it happen for a really long time. Just especially when I was playing for Centurions, the scheduling really never worked out because Centurions had a team in like basically every tournament, every division. So it was really hard because once I was committed to one club, I wasn't gonna play for another. But yeah, I was really looking forward to it. It didn't feel that alien to me just because I knew a lot of the guys. Because I played a lot of junior cricket with some of the guys. Like Ravi was there. A few of the guys I knew. So it wasn't that new. And honestly, I didn't bat too good the first 5-6 overs. I was kind of struggling. Honestly, I think I had a late night the previous night. So but I was up and like fresh. But I had a late night the previous night, and then I got up. I had 2 games that day, so I knew it was gonna be a long day for me. But yeah, I got up. I was really looking forward to it. It felt good to wear the jersey and get on the park.
And that was 100.
Yeah.
How much did you score, if I'm not wrong? Like, it was 120 something?
I think 110, 115. It wasn't 120. It was below 120. Yeah. But I think it was a 110 something. Yeah. Nothing too big.
Now, you've been a busy man, right? And Mihir, I really appreciate for you giving us the time.
No, I mean
talking for, and it's good for me to have a youngster, especially a former under-19 World Cup captain, to have a debut start for Stumping Mudholes.
Yes.
And anything that you want to say to your viewers about Canadian cricket, about cricket in general, about yourself for season 2024?
I mean, nothing much. Just looking forward to 2024. 2023 wasn't, at least personally, wasn't great for me with an injury, and I just never really got going. But to anyone that's shown love and support to me, to anyone in Canadian cricket, I just want to say I appreciate it, or we as an extended family appreciate it. It's not easy. I mean, it's a bit better now with contracts and things in place, but I know before either it was school and cricket or it was work and cricket. Cricket was never full time. So it did take a toll on everyone's lives, including not just the players but the families as well. I think everyone's been super supportive, and even to people that don't play or are not directly involved, they've always been good supporters, people that always wished well for me and for Canadian cricket in general. So thank you to those guys. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to maybe taking Cricket Canada to higher heights and maybe making them a team like Afghanistan or like the UAE or Ireland and bringing them up to a higher scale.
What are you going to eat now?
I'm on a cut, man. Maybe something healthy. I'm not too sure.
Mihir.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on the show.
No worries, man. Thank you so much.